Netflix's hit crime drama Ozark just dropped a trailer for the final season, and fans have been reeling from excitement. Will Darlene ever get what's coming for her? What does she have planned for the Langmores? Why did Omar Navarro choose the birds over Helen Pierce? Join us today for a recap and questions everyone's asking. What's the next end game for Marty and Wendy? One of the biggest and most frequent questions fans have been echoing online is the fate of these two lovebirds. As we've witnessed last season, these two didn't have great options to choose from given what's happened in season 3. However, showrunner Chris Mundy dropped a hint on what's to come for these two. During a pre-recorded panel at Paley Fest LA, Mundy brought up one particular scene involving actors Laura Linney and Tom Pelphrey, wherein Linney drops a line about how running for our life became the norm for them and that it became exceedingly dull. Mundy explained that if husband and wife wanted a way out of their life of crime, they need to figure it out if they want to keep on doing it for the rest of their lives, to which they didn't have any options last season. Mundy said that the two will face the reckoning of what choices they'll make. But like we said, they're offered poor choices in season 3, with Helen being killed in a heartbeat and Marty being offered a way out by the FBI, but he has to serve some time. Not great choices, but hopefully the show creators can wrap up the couple's storyline nicely. Will Wendy push through with retrieving baby Zeke from Darlene? This question was rampant back in season 2, but come season 3, Wendy seems to have forgotten her vow on retrieving Zeke from Darlene until she was reminded of how scary the latter was. It was also unexpected for Wendy to use the legal system to not only get the baby back, but also paint Darlene as the monster that she is. But through it all, is it just an act of pure guilt that made Wendy want to get Zeke back? Maybe she just wants to free herself from the guilt of robbing Zeke of his mother, or it could be possible that this is also her way back to Darlene. I mean, after all, she did kidnap and terrifyingly shave Jonah's head as a show of power. Will Darlene ever get what's coming for her, and what does she have planned for the Langmores? As one of the most unpredictable characters in the show, Darlene was volatile and has murdered a lot of people, and fans have been eager to see this monster's downfall for quite some time now. And her romance with Wyatt Langmore came as a shocking surprise to all of us, which makes us think, what is she scheming in that devilish head of hers? Is she genuinely in love with him, or is she leaving it as a front for one of her plans? With Darlene, it's most likely the latter, and let's not forget the addition of 3 and Ruth in the heroin business, which is complicated enough as it is. What's her play? Is she going up against the cartel by building her own army and propagating her poppy farm? Either way, we hope to see justice served against this matriarch in season 4. What's going on with Jonah? Another interesting question the fans have been voicing out about concerns Marty and Wendy's teenage son. Puberty is a very sensitive stage for everyone's life, and the young Jonah was finally getting the attention and approval he wanted from his uncle Ben Davis, who was unfortunately killed. Mad and fuming, he pulled a shotgun on Helen Pierce, demanding her to confess to the death of his uncle, but the latter revealed that it was Wendy who ordered the kill. She may not have died at Jonah's hand, but the young man is still raging over what's happened. It can be seen after Helen left that Jonah thrashed around the house with a rifle and even ended up firing it. Did he shoot anybody by chance, or did someone walk in on him in the middle of his rage? And now that he knows it was his mom who gave the order to kill Ben, how will this affect the already distraught family next season? Will we see any progress from Charlotte? Let's all admit, for the record, that Charlotte was that one annoying character in season 2 who's a pain in the butt for the whole family. Not only is she adding more stress by bringing her drama to the table when a life and death situation's going on, but her loyalty is also somewhat fickle. But in season 3, it was quite surprising that her character somewhat mellowed out, and she spent the majority of her screen time either sunbathing with Aaron or working as an assistant to Wendy. Another notable thing about last season is that she may have picked up her mother's drinking habits, which could spell trouble for the family when the time comes. Hopefully, we'll get to see her story unfold more in the next season. The next few questions we've got lined up are quite crucial to the storyline, so keep watching. Why did Omar Navarro choose the birds over Helen Pierce? Helen Pierce was a major character and an asset to the cartel, so to see her get killed off right in front of Marty and Wendy by Omar Navarro was quite a bit out of the blue, to say the least. And right off the bat too. With chunks of Helen's face still in their faces, the couple is embraced by Omar as Run the Jewels play in the background. Which begs the question, why? A lot of things have been running through our minds as to why the head man decided to spare these two. Did Wendy sacrificing her brother for the cartel earn them a favorable position from Omar? Maybe, since we saw Helen refuse to sacrifice her husband in the previous season. How will the relationship between the Birds and Omar go from here? We did see Wendy engaging in casual conversation with Omar and the latter reciprocating her demeanor, but from what we think, she's only being careful not to anger her employer. Now that Marty and Wendy are included in the inner circle, things will definitely get more dangerous for the whole family. But Helen's death also opens another question in the series, and this time on Helen's side. What will happen to her daughter Erin? She knows her mother worked for the cartel, and it's only a matter of time before the cartel knows, and for that, she may be considered a loose end. Will Ruth be loyal to Darlene, or is she serving her own interests? The last few episodes of Season 3 depicted the brewing turf war between the Bird Navarro cartel and the reappearance of Darlene Snell. Darlene's romance with Wyatt Langmore, Ruth's cousin, may be a calculated move for the matriarch as she's busy building an army to go on par against the cartel. She even hired Ruth Langmore, a practical, ambitious, and level-headed person, which may pose a serious and ironic problem for the Birds, seen as to how she was once a loyal ally to them. Will she finally turn her backs on Marty and Wendy? Darlene and Wyatt's arguments did make a pretty sensible impact on her, blaming the couple for most of the misfortunes that have happened in her life. If she did a crossover, will the Birds find a way to win her back? Ruth choosing which side to participate in will play a huge role in who will emerge as the victor next season. Will we see the return of Rachel? Another person who knows a little too much of the Birds' business is Rachel, and is one character we're waiting for a comeback. She had so much potential in adding more conflict, but her character didn't exactly pop off in a way we wanted it to. And to be honest, it's quite unsatisfactory to see her story conclude by checking her into rehab, thanks to Marty. If she ever makes a comeback, there's a chance she'll blackmail Marty and Wendy on what she knows about their business, or she may even find herself working alongside Darlene. There's also the possibility that she may side with the Birds as well, although Wendy may not take a liking to that, given how Marty and Rachel share a history. Are Marty and Wendy facing against each other? One of the building conflicts surrounding the couple from the last season is if Wendy will become the villain and face off against Marty next season. They may be a couple, but there are more than a few times where the two don't see eye to eye. If anything, Marty's growing weary and careful around her since she found out that she enraged to kill Cade Langmore. And there's also the fact that she also got her brother killed off for the cartel. So this is a possible scenario. Add that to Wendy's ominous dream last season where she took a gun and shot her husband. Is this a premonition of what's to come? Will Marty be joining the huge pile of dead bodies they managed to accumulate throughout the years? It's always them against the world, but what if it's them against one another? And with that, we're wrapping up today's video about fan questions Ozark Season 4 needs to be answered. What do you think will happen next season? Until the next episode, see ya!